What's good, YouTube? This is Kevin from Regalia N Chill, starting off with our first meta discussion for Montreal and Cali GP going on this weekend. I'm going to be talking about what I believe will be the best decks and what decks you'll be seeing most of in top tables. I'd like to give a shout out to Team Brewhouse, Roger Page from Team Brewhouse, for doing this Lackey tournament, which showed up a nice ruler breakdown, helped me with writing everything down what I believe will be. And let's get started. First off, I believe Pricia, is number 2 in the popularity list, but definitely number 1 in the deck list and what I believe will be seen the most and what I believe most of the top table will be. It's not that hard. It's one ruler, and all the other cards are older cards. And there's 2 main lists. There's the world list that Ryan Miles topped with at Atlanta, and there is the aggro list that was also being played at Atlanta, and I like them both. Personally, I play Pricia myself, but I play just straight burn and Little Red, the air from Bingo 3. But to start off with the world build, it is definitely a list that is somewhat similar to Guber. You know, you're just sitting there, you're just jamming at him, brawlies, sacking really good 1-drops. Like there's Gwen, one of the best 1-drops. There's Tama, which is easy sack fodder, replaces itself. Divine Bird of Adiratica, one of the newer cards of this set. Whenever it leaves the field, you draw a card, so it's a green version of Alice's Little Scout. Only a 1/1, but it's whenever it leaves the field, so if it gets Apollo back to your hand or removed, if they have something that removes the card from the field to or when it doesn't hit the grave at all, it just doesn't matter where it goes, you'll draw a card. And then Egg, really good card, and it does play Elf. Elf is an okay card to me. If it resolves and stays for a turn, you will get maximum value. But you sack Elf, you sack Divine Bird and let's say Egg, and you get just a search and a draw, and then add mana to your mana pool. A nice deal 500 to an opponent's whatever they have. They have their own Elf, and with that Egg, you can search what they played. He played Drake, and you just cycle through your deck real quick without even J activating Pricia, and then just jamming down your Levs and your Scythes to go in for that OTK if needed, or you try to go in for that OTK first, and then they have to deal with Pricia, and then you make a board the next turn, or you do all of it in one turn, and they have an option to deal with Pricia or to deal with your board. They're both equally as threatening. And that's with the world build. It definitely has that Guber feel. As well, the aggro build plays some, the old Gwen, Egg, and Lance combo. No necromancy, just a rapid growth. And then it also plays the exploding flame Pricia. Definitely a really good card. It deals 500. I jam it in the burn version because it's like 500 points of damage. And it's just going with that tactic of trying to attack for game. It also plays like a pair of Wind Secluded Refuge. Personally, I'd play 4 in the main deck. I'll look into that so that they can deal with Moonbeams or anything that will affect Bear Magic if they're trying to bear Pricia and whatnot. But that's the deck I believe will be most consistent in the top list. The aggro is really good, and it's always been a good concept. Always been really good against control, but there was just not much good super rush decks. I know Guber is definitely aggressive, but it wasn't a rush deck. The second deck I want to say, which is the most popular deck in my opinion, and in the Lackey Ruler Breakdown, was Alamaat. It's the control player's dream ruler. He's 5 colors without committing to the Regalias. That says a lot. 5 colors without committing. Regalia is like an 8-card, 9-card package usually, and you're taking deck space from nice cute cards and sometimes counter spells. And I've never seen anyone cut a space time, but Unseen Pressure, and you can't play all the discard cards. But this guy, you can play free cards with him, and you can just delve into a +2 card like Ancient Knowledge. I have it written down, the Ancient Magic package. And the cards he can play for free are Heartfelt Fire, which deals 4, and he starts the game with a mana counter. Viola Machination, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which rips a card and then adds a mana counter. Your opponent chooses the card, which is not the best, but you're just playing that in Darkstorm and everything's okay. Black Lightning, or Alhama's Black Lightning, and uncounterable, destroy a creature, and then you can return it to the hand with Awakening, which I believe can be paid with Ancient Magic. Steam Explosion, which is a potential win condition. I'd hope if it's still control-centric meta, like it was, I'd hope no one really plays it, because you're not really it can't target J Resonators, and no one's really playing it creatures. Rune of Soul, which searches all of the Ancient Magics, whatever one you need at your disposal. Ancient Knowledge, which is the best one, well, second best one, which look at the top 5 cards, add 2 of them to your hand, the rest on the bottom of the deck. And then Black Moonbeam, the original Ancient Magic, it's just all good. Black Moonbeam is definitely one of the bigger cards too. You can main 1, main 2, and then side 2 more, or you can even hit people with Surprise, just not having mana tapped out, but having 2 mana counters, and when they try to start playing the game, like if they J-activate Pricia without having anyone's clue because they just see you're tapped out and they're just trying to go in there, you just Moonbeam them with the mana counters, and you only need to tap 1 stone. As for the win condition of that deck, Blazer is one of the best win conditions in my opinion. I know they have the Angel package, which Alex Blandon actually played at the ARG Atlantic City. And don't get me wrong, I like the Angel package, but Blazer is definitely cuter. 4 mana, 1,000, comes back from the grave. Schrodinger's Observation, which is a Steam Explosion that isn't mana counters, or doesn't use. You can't pay with it off of mana counters. It just deals whatever 1 black, 1 white X. Deals X plus 3, and then you gain that life, or it does it to a creature and you gain that much life, and you can just keep tapping for stone. And back to the 5 colors, without Regalia, you can main control, you can main counter cards, you can main Seal, because his stone can use a mana counter to tap for green or any other color that you need. And it's definitely one of the top 2 decks of Pricia and Alamaat, and that's what I believe you'll be seeing in the top tables. I do believe Alamaat is definitely one of the cooler decks, but I know it can lose to Rush, so you definitely have to figure out some card techs. One I suggest is Amaterasu's Foresight, because he generically plays white, and that stops any variant of Pricia except for the burn variant to even deal damage to him. And if you let them attack once and then they God's Art, and then you Amaterasu Foresight on their God's Art, you can get a little bit of value out of that, where they use their God's Art forever, and then you can Moonbeam next turn if needed. One of the third deck that I believe a lot of people will be playing, because it's really cool, is Red Fox. Red Fox plays... Fox has... Vingolf 3 was really nice for Fox. It gave you another avatar, which is Baneful Avatar, which is 2 black, 3/4. Whenever it enters the field, your opponent discards a card. And then you could search it off of the World Tree Protector, any avatar, and then World Tree gets big. And it becomes a nice little mid-range deck that you can search out any of your combo without Moonbeam Butterfly, which is what the original way to do it with. Search out your monkey turn 2, and you just get a 1/1 monkey, and hopefully have an elf. And I don't think elf is that reliable. Alhama has Ancient Heartfelt Fire, which is really free. They can play it on your turn, and you can't really do anything. But those are the 2 World Tree, the Avatar combo or the package. 1 green, 1 black. You just get it with the Avatar package. Not just also to mention, World Tree gets pretty big. +2/+2 for each Avatar in the grave. It also plays Shade, Envoy of Darkness, another Vingolf card, 6/6. You can tap sack it and deal 600 to target J/Resonator and gain 600 off of it, and it has Resonance. I believe Darkness Magic Stone, and whenever a Darkness Magic Stone enters the field, you pay 3, add it back to your hand. It seems like it's mainly there to get rid of Abduls, but it's still aggressive. It's a black card that can come back to your hand. It's a steep cost, but it's not that bad. And then the main card, the reason why it's red, is End of Days, which is one of the better top decks for that deck specifically because chimeras are part black. If you know, you play one black, one red X, and you just bring back a black or a red resonator equal to the X cost to your battlefield tapped, and then they get removed at the end of the turn, and whenever they leave the field they get removed. So even though they come and tap if you have, you got Griffin in your arsenal, Manticore and Alamaat, and they're just really good, especially like Griffin and Manticore, when you just end of days them, rip a card and then tap for a stone, and then just sack them with Fox and get another Griffin, get more stones, and now they're removed so you can reuse them, especially the Manticore, which I see still as a 1 of or 2 of, and then they'll just go from the graveyard. It's just really good effects, and I know some of the weaknesses for the deck was Abdul and Prison, and then Barrier Seal for those people that like Barrier Seal is not really bad. It's one of the better options in my opinion, because they still have to sack 3 cards to get rid of it with the Manticore, which it's kind of a lot of card advantage. It's too many cards for that. I like Abdul personally, but if they're gonna just jam a Shade Envoy and then sack it to gain life and destroy my Abdul, it's not pleasant. Those are the top 3 that I actually like. I definitely see Pricia, Alamaat. I see a lot of people playing Red Fox. Some of the other decks that I would keep an eye for is Valentina 2.0. You can easily hit with her once. If you J activate her and you've already tapped your Levantine, she will have Imperishable for the turn. You can swing in and try to get that hit. And I know a lot of copies or a lot of decks are playing 1 copy of Ryula, the new dragon that can just recover an Astral Ruler. So if they just give her, if they Moonbeam her or destroy her somehow, and she doesn't have Imperishable or with Death Scythe or whatnot, you can just recover her from Astral and just try to come in for that second hit after applying more pressure with the the beasts that she can bring out, Pricia's Godsart, and that's something to keep an eye out for. And again, Amaterasu Foresight does stop her attacks. Arla combo deck, infinite combos, definitely really strong. It's more or less consistent if they hit the stone. All they're doing is countering your spells, and then they're trying to wait till turn 4. The deck kind of has a more difficult matchup against Pricia when they're trying to aggro them out before turn 4. And then they may have a problem with Alamaat trying to, counter their cards. Another one of Alamaat's Ancient Magic is actually that one that deals 8 across the board. I don't remember the name, but makes them sack a stone, or deals 15 to a J ruler, or deals 800 to an opponent at World Flame summoning. So it's definitely something that I would be scared of if they're just going to World Flame summon you, set you back another turn. Not only that, they can destroy your little weenie creatures. They can do that for free and then counter your counter spell if that happens, because they're just going to use Ancient Magic for it. And then you just lose your little creatures, and then you're a stone, so set you back and then keep setting you back, and it's just a little difficult to play against. But it definitely still is a consistent deck, can catch people off guard, can just combo off, you can just not disregard what your opponent's doing and play your own game. Guber, I also see Guber as the most, good deck, good cards deck. You just jam Adam Brawley and then all the good cards that work with Adam Brawley. And now that we have Divine Bird of Adaradica, it definitely helps with more green, just in case if Tama wasn't reliable enough. You could just play it instead of, you don't have to play blue, but blue gives you a lot of value. But sometimes you get too much value with Gwen, and you're just going to have like 11 cards in your hand and just end up having to discard cards, and it's just ruthless, and you don't want to have to do that. Lumia hook, you can't disregard the hook. Just always be mindful about the hook. With people taking out Lunar Lake, Abdul's good, it is really good, but if they out your Abdul and then just start hook comboing you, it can get really tough for any of the decks, especially like Pricia. If they can hook you turn 3 before you do anything, or if they can survive a Pricia and then hook you have no stones. You're just trying to attack with that Pricia, who doesn't even have flying if you God's Arted it, or if you didn't God's Art it, she will get flying, or you don't have a Levitine, which I'm sure you wouldn't deactivate without lead, then you gotta be careful with the hook. Another deck that I've actually been seeing was Guardian of the Wind. The people have been playing with the Myth, the shiny spinning Myth, and you just get out Frig. What that ruler does on its front side is resonance. Whenever you tap for a stone, target resonator gets to tap for a stone, and that's really good if you're playing like Alice's Little Scout or Divine Bird of Adoratica. Who wants to actually kill an elf that will draw you a card when it leaves the field? Like it's just so much value. You get to tap for mana that turn, and if you're playing like a world variant, with Adam Brawley, you can just tap for stone, your turn 1, tap for stone, play a Divine Bird, tap for stone turn 2, make that Divine Bird, tap for mana, tap for blue, play Alice's Little Scout, sack both for Adam Brawley, you draw 2 cards, and then draw and add mana. You still have 3 mana to your mana pool because you didn't even tap for stone with your regular stones, and you could save that for a counter spell or anything really, and then just go off from that. And I've seen a lot of lists that are playing that. I don't really like the Myths. It's a powerful combo, but it definitely is inconsistent. Even though you could search a Myth with an egg, you still have to search spinning Myth. And I wanted to hit you guys with some side deck options. Again, Alamaat's Foresight. I think that's a really good card against Pricia. Really good card against like world variants when they're trying to aggro you out. Death Scythe, which stops Pricia as well, which is one of the bigger. It also negates gaining imperishable for any ruler, just in case. Moonbeam, I shouldn't have to say, for any J ruler deck. Shackles, which stops Alamaat. Lumia's Judgment, which is one of the bigger cards people have been playing as a one of, and I would look into that. And then Abdul, which is good against those enter effects, all enter effects, and Heavenly Gust, which I can see a lot of Pricia players play to just get rid of opponents' death scythes. I would consider Wind Secluded Refuge. If you're playing Pricia, I'd consider siding any amount that would make it 4 copies in your deck. So if your main deck has 2, side 2 more. You want to make sure your opponent has you want to make your opponent be playing 4 Moonbeams to get rid of your Pricia, and no one wants to do that. And that's everything on my list. Prison and Barrier Seal are nice mentions. Barrier Seal is definitely really good against most things. Not really Pricia, but it does. Once you get rid of a scythe, you get rid of a scythe. It is an addition, and I'm not a big fan of having additions with cards like Lumia Judgment out there, or Heavenly Gust can get you for mad value, and it's a little scary to have it out there. But against Fox, they just minus 3 cards. Their stone doesn't come back, and when their stones are, that's all they got. But I believe that concludes my meta deck discussion. So end result, I believe there will be a lot of Pricias in the top, and Alamaat is like a control player's dream, but look out for those Red Fox players. The card is a late game blowout. So if you're playing control, I'd save your counterspell for that if you could. End of Days, really good card. Pricia players don't need to be playing Rapidashers, just play Levitine. I'd be mindful with Alamaat's win condition being Blazer and them out controlling the game, as well as Alamaat being careful with being out rushed in the game. But that concludes this meta discussion, and be sure to like and subscribe to Regalia N Chill YouTube. Check out the Twitter and check out the Instagram. I'll also re-shout out Roger Page from Team Brewhouse. I'll put their website below. And you guys have a good force and good luck at AGPs, or the Just GPs.